Welcome back to Whispers in the Dark, where we unravel the shadows of the world's most haunting mysteries. If you're new here, or if you've been with us through the dark alleys of past cases, hit that like button and subscribe to join our community of truth seekers. Ring the bell so you never miss a whisper. Today we're diving into a case that's tearing a small Massachusetts town apart, the second murder trial of Karen Reed. A woman accused of killing her cop, boyfriend in a snowy rage, or a scapegoat caught in a web of corruption. Buckle up, because this story is a roller coaster of secrets, loyalty, and betrayal. It's January 29th, 2022. A blizzard blankets Canton, Massachusetts. In the early morning hours, a lifeless body is found in a snowbank outside a quiet suburban home. That body belongs to John O'Keefe, a 46-year-old Boston police officer with 16 years on the force. The woman accused of putting him there? His girlfriend, Karen Reed, a 45-year-old financial analyst with no criminal past. Prosecutors say she ran him down with her SUV after a drunken fight and left him to freeze. Karen says she's innocent, framed by a corrupt inner circle of cops protecting their own. Her first trial ended in a mistrial last summer, with a jury too divided to decide. Now, as of April 2025, she's back in court, facing life in prison if convicted. This isn't just a murder trial, it's a battle over truth, trust, and a town's soul. Let's start by meeting the players and the place where it all went down. First up, Karen Reed. She's a Mansfield native just south of Canton with a master's in finance from Bentley University. Before this nightmare, she worked at Fidelity Investments and taught as an adjunct professor. Smart, polished, the girl next door type, until she became the face of a murder case. Friends describe her as loyal but fiery, someone who doesn't back down. Her relationship with John O'Keefe. 2 years strong, but prosecutors say it was crumbling by that fateful night. Then there's John O'Keefe, a Boston cop through and through, 16 years on the job, a steady presence in his community. At 46, he was raising his late sister's kids, a family man with a reputation for being reliable. But was there a darker side to his life, or his death? Next, meet Brian Albert, another Boston cop, and the owner of the house at 34 Fairview Road where John's body was found. He hosted the after-party that night, and Karen's defense says he's at the center of a cover-up. His brother, Kevin Albert, a Canton cop, was also tied to the investigation, raising eyebrows about conflicts of interest. And we can't skip Michael Proctor, the Massachusetts state trooper who led the case. His crude texts about Karen, like calling her a whack job and hoping she'd kill herself, torpedoed his credibility. He was fired in March 2025 after a review board called him out for misconduct, but he's still a witness, and his shadow looms large. Finally, there's Aidan Kearney, aka Turtle Boy. A local blogger turned Karen's loudest cheerleader. He's been accused of witness intimidation but insists he's exposing the truth. Love him or hate him, he's a wild card in this saga. These are the faces driving the story. Now let's zoom out to the stage they're playing on. Canton, Massachusetts sits about 20 miles south of Boston. It's a small town of 24,000. Think tree-lined streets, historic homes, and a tight-knit vibe. Incorporated in 1797, it's got that New England charm, a mix of blue-collar roots and suburban polish. The median home price hovers around $600,000, and it's the kind of place where everyone knows your name or your business. But beneath the surface, Canton's got its share of secrets. By 2022, it was a community proud of its cops, many of whom lived there, like the Alberts. When John O'Keefe died on Fairview Road, it wasn't just a crime, it was personal. The town split in two. Pink-shirted, free Karen Reed supporters clashing with blue-clad Justice for John advocates. Canton's not just a backdrop. It's a character in this drama torn between loyalty and suspicion. Let's rewind to that night. It's late January and a blizzard is rolling in. Karen and John are out drinking with friends. First at the Waterfall Bar and Grill, then C.F. McCarthy's, both Canton staples. Prosecutors say Karen downed several drinks. Her defense says she wasn't wasted. Around midnight, they hop into her black Lexus SUV and head to Brian Albert's house for an after-party. What happens next is where the stories split. The prosecution's version, Karen and John argue, maybe about infidelity, maybe about their rocky relationship. John gets out of the car at 34 Fairview Road. As he walks away, Karen, furious and drunk, reverses her SUV at 24 miles an hour, slams into him, and drives off. He's left bleeding in the snow, dying of hypothermia and head trauma. She comes back hours later with two friends, finds him, and says, "I hit him, I hit him." Words they claim are a confession. Karen's version. She drops John off, sees him head toward the house and goes home. He never makes it inside because her lawyers say something sinister happens in that house. They claim John was beaten up, maybe by Brian Albert or others, bitten by a dog, and dumped outside to frame her. No one at the party admits John came in, but the defense says they're lying. Hours later, Karen wakes up alone, panics, and calls friends, Kerry Roberts and Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert's sister-in-law. They drive around, find John in the snow, and call for help. He's pronounced dead at the hospital. 2 stories, 1 body, and a mountain of questions. Fast forward to April 2024. Karen's first trial kicks off at Norfolk Superior Court in Dedham, just north of Canton. She's charged with second-degree murder, vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, and leaving the scene of a deadly crash. The stakes? Life in prison with parole possible. The prosecution brings over 70 witnesses, cops, forensic experts, even firefighters who heard Karen's alleged, "I hit him." They show her broken taillight, bits of it found near John's, body and data from her SUV proving she reversed fast, but the defense fires back. They grill Proctor over his vile texts, painting him as biased. They call accident reconstructionists who say John's injuries, black eyes, skull fractures don't match a car strike. They point to dog scratches on his arm and suggest a fight inside Albert's house. It's a circus. Protesters swarm. Outside, Turtle Boy gets booted from court for allegedly harassing witnesses, and the jury's stuck. After 5 days of deliberation, they send a note. We're deeply divided by fundamental differences. On July 1st, 2024, Judge Beverly Cannon declares a mistrial. Karen walks free, for now, but the fight's far from over. The mistrial lights a fuse. Karen's team claims jurors wanted to acquit her on murder and leaving the scene, only hung on manslaughter, but the courts won't hear it. Proctor's texts blow up into a scandal. He's sacked in March 2025. A federal probe into the investigation wraps up with no charges, but trust in the cops is shot. Karen goes public, interviews, a 5-part HBO series, A Body in the Snow, watched by millions. Her supporters grow louder, waving pink pom-poms and Free Karen signs. John's family files a wrongful death suit, paused until this trial ends, and the defense adds a twist. Victoria George, an alternate juror from Trial 1, joins Karen's legal team. By April 2025, the stage is set for round 2, and it's bigger than ever. April 1st, 2025, jury selection begins. Over 1,000 potential jurors are called, way more than the 400 last time, because everyone's heard of this case. By April, 10 of 16 jurors are seated, and it's moving faster than expected. Judge Canone's cracking down. A 200-foot buffer zone keeps protesters at bay after complaints of booing and intimidation. The prosecution's got a new ace. Hank Brennan, a heavy-hitting lawyer who once defended Whitey Bulger. They're streamlining, focusing on that taillight and Karen's own words. Karen's team, 5 lawyers strong, including George. They're appealing to the US Supreme Court, arguing double jeopardy on the murder and leaving the scene charges, but it's a long shot. They can't name Brian Albert's nephew Colin as a suspect anymore. Canton ruled it's too shaky, but they're still pushing the cover-up angle with Albert and federal agent Brian Higgins. The trial's just starting, but the tension's already electric. Will this jury see a killer or a conspiracy? So, what's the truth? The prosecution's theory is clean. A drunk, angry Karen snaps, hits John, and bails. It's simple, but holes emerge. Why no bumper damage? Why injuries more like a beating? The defense's story, John attacked inside, framed outside, explains that, but where's the hard proof? No witnesses saw him enter and the dog bite theory's debated. Maybe it's neither. Maybe an accident spiraled out of control. Was Karen set up? Did cops close ranks, or is she playing us all? You tell me. What do you think happened that night? Drop your theories in the comments, let's dig deeper together. This case isn't just about Karen or John, it's about us. True crime grips us because it's a mirror. Trust breaks, systems fail, and we're left picking sides. Canton's a microcosm. Cops versus citizens, pink versus blue. Karen's a rarity. A female suspect with a fan club, not a villain. Compare her to Casey Anthony or Amanda Knox. Why the love here? Maybe it's the corruption angle, the underdog vibe. Whatever it is, this trial's rewriting the script, and we're all watching. That's it for today's dive into Karen Reid's second murder trial. We'll keep whispering as this unfolds. Will justice prevail, or will shadows win? If you're hooked, smash that like button and subscribe to Whispers in the Dark. Hit the bell for updates. We're in this together. Share your thoughts below, guilty, framed, or something else. Thanks for joining me in the dark. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe. See you soon.